This is a $12 bottle of wine. This is a $200 bottle of wine. What exactly are you paying for at each level? I'm breaking it down because most people have no idea and the wine industry kind of likes it that way. This is Josh. It's a $12 Cabernet. You've probably seen it everywhere. Here's what you're actually buying when you're buying this. The winery probably sells this bottle to a distributor for $6 or $7. The distributor sells it to a retailer for maybe $9 or $10, and by the time it's on the shelf, the winemaker is maybe $4 worth to work with. And honestly, half of that goes towards the glass and the cork and the label and the foil. My best guess is that if you're getting it for $12, there's maybe $2 worth of wine in this bottle. Now, is it undrinkable? No, but to make $2 taste like something people are gonna buy again, you probably have to add a few things to it. Some of these wines have mega purple for coloring, sulfites beyond what's actually necessary in order to make the wine palatable, tannin powder. There's a bunch of stuff, flavor additives that aren't on any label because the wine industry has no ingredient disclosure laws. This is supermarket wine. It's engineered to taste good on a shelf and not age a single day. If you're buying a bottle of this, you better drink it quick. This is Dow. Their regular wine is just around $25, which is where honestly things start to get interesting. Now you're looking at a bottle that actually has an address on it. This one says Paso Robles in this case. That matters. Appellation designation, which is what we're saying when you're asking where the address is from, is something that makes people accountable. You need to know where the grapes came from. The economics at this point shift completely too. There's now enough margin for a real winemaker to make real decisions. And here's something most people don't know. The best winemakers in the world make wines at every price level. So at some point, their $25 bottle is made with the same care and attention as their $100 bottle. A lot of the times they just use grapes that didn't make it to the cut to the final flagship wine. But here at this price, you have better cork, you have better foil, have better fit and finish, and for the first time, you're tasting something that was actually made as opposed to assembled. This is where value buying starts. At around this price point, for example, we have our Better Than Sauvy B, which is a delicious white field blend made with organic grapes in Oregon, with a fancy wax cap and small run labels. This is where the winemakers start to be able to offer good quality stuff. This is the price range that most people never find because they're stuck buying $20 wine, and it's the best bang for your buck in the entire wine world. At $35 to $55, the economics flip completely. Now, all of a sudden, the packaging costs, the cork, the glass, the capsule, they represent a tiny fraction of what you paid. So the winery doesn't need to sell a million cases to survive, which means they can make less wine, care more about the wine, and charge you fairly for what's actually in the bottle. You can get a world-class Cabernet in the lower end of this range. A lot of people, for example, love The Prisoner, even though they don't give you an address. They just say it's from California. And at the higher end of the range, you can get world-class Pinot. These are bottles that beat $100 wines in blind tastings regularly because a lot of them just don't have the brand to push the price up. This is exactly where Bruno sits. Our Forget Napa Cab is $44. The winemaker behind it had 100 wines rated over 90. The thing is, if he put his label on it, we wouldn't be able to charge you $44, we'd have to charge you $74. And now we're getting to kind of celebration territory, $75 and up. And here's what changes at this price point. You're paying for land, you're paying for labor, and increasingly, you're paying for the brand. The truly artisanal stuff at this level is 100% worth it. The grapes are harvested by hand. The berries are selected individually when they come through to the winery. The fruit on the vine is cut away if it doesn't look great, so that the ones that do look great have maximum flavor intensity. You're paying for decisions that actually cost the winemaker money and time, and a $40 bottle just can't absorb this. But, and this is important, the brand starts weighing heavily here on the price. Take Silver Oak, for instance. It's a beautiful wine, but you're paying for decades of marketing as much as you're paying for what's in the bottle. A $150 bottle of Silver Oak and a $75 bottle from a winemaker you've never heard of are not the same value proposition. One of them is charging you for reputation, and that's fine, there's a value to consistency, but the other one is charging you for the wine. This is where our $100 cab comes in. It's everything that I told you. It's hand harvested, it's hand sorted, and it's biodynamic, and it fills this niche perfectly without costing you a car lease payment. And then there's something like this. The M by Michael Mondavi from 2010. This is about $200. Michael Mondavi is Robert Mondavi's son, and if you know anything, you know this is as old as Napa gets. It's the family that essentially put California wine on the map. The fact that it's 2010 and I bought it last week is significant. This means that the winemaker who made this knew that the bottle could handle 15 years of bottle aging. This means the tannins, the harsh stuff, that have time to integrate completely. Fruit that's evolved into something that you simply cannot manufacture at a $44 price point, no matter how good your winemaker is. Time costs money, and this bottle has a lot of it. This is also a single vineyard wine from Atlas Peak with volcanic soils and one of the most distinctive terroirs in Napa. You're not paying for a blend or whatever was available. You're paying for one specific place, one specific year, made by somebody whose family has been doing this for 60 years. Now, is it worth 5 times what my Forget Napa Cab costs? As a pure drinking experience, probably not 5 times better, but that's the wrong question to ask when you're opening something like this. The right question is what you're drinking it for. If $44 Bruno on a Tuesday night dinner table is the right call, this bottle you open on the night you close a deal, celebrate the anniversary, open something that marks the moment, that's what this is for. Different wine for a different occasion. Both worth it. So here's my actual take. If you're drinking wine regularly, the $35 to $55 is where you should be spending most of your money. It's where the industry economics work in your favor for the first time. Below that, you're mostly paying for engineered wine. And above $75, you're increasingly paying for the brand, unless you're buying something that's truly spectacular. And somewhere in the middle, if you know where to look, is the best wine you've ever had at a price that doesn't require an occasion to drink. Bruno's Forget Napa Cab is one of those. So yeah, I hope you got some value out of this. Drink less, but make sure you drink better.